The Duchess and the Deserter. Chapter 7. The Prisoner of Blackwood House. They've taken Lord Ashbourne alive. The words shattered the fragile stillness inside the ruined chapel. Lady Seraphina stood so quickly the folded blanket slipped from her lap. What? Outside, rainwater dripped steadily from broken stone while shadows shifted beyond the doorway. Elias did not move, did not lower the knife. Every line of his body turned sharp with suspicion. "Who's out there?" he called, voice cold. A figure stepped cautiously into lantern light. Young, mud-covered, military coat torn at the shoulder. No older than 20. He raised trembling hands immediately. "Please," the stranger said, breathing hard. "I came alone." Elias' expression darkened. "Name?" "Thomas Reed." Recognition flickered across Elias' face. "Small, controlled. You served South Battalion," Thomas added quickly. "Under Captain Merrick." The mention landed heavily. Seraphina noticed the shift instantly. "Merrick, the dead brother." Elias lowered the knife only slightly. "You shouldn't be here." Thomas swallowed. "You were right." Silence. A long one. "The records," Thomas continued carefully. "The missing supply lists. Blackwood found out people were asking questions." Elias said nothing. Thomas's gaze flicked nervously toward Seraphina. Then back. "He arrested Lord Ashbourne." Seraphina's pulse stumbled. "No. He took him to Blackwood House." Cold spread through her chest. Blackwood House. Everyone knew the estate. Fortified. Private guards. Remote. A place people entered for negotiations and rarely spoke of afterward. Her father alive, but imprisoned. Elias finally stepped forward. "Why?" Thomas hesitated. "Too long." And suddenly Seraphina hated the answer before hearing it. "Because," Thomas said quietly, "they think Lord Ashbourne hid something." Elias' jaw hardened. "The documents." Thomas nodded once. Seraphina's stomach twisted. "The letters. The military routes. The proof." Her father knew more than he ever admitted. Maybe far more. And Edwin wanted it badly enough to burn estates and hunt fugitives. A terrible thought surfaced. What if my father gives it to him? Thomas looked uneasy. "He hasn't. Yet." The unspoken words settled heavily. Elias moved immediately. "We leave before dawn." Seraphina blinked. "Leave? We get your father." The certainty startled her. "You can't be serious." "Entirely. There will be guards." "Yes." "Guns." "Yes." "Lord Edwin." A pause. "Yes." Her frustration rose instantly. "You say these things like they're inconveniences." His expression remained maddeningly calm. "They're inconveniences." Thomas nearly laughed. Stopped himself quickly. Seraphina stared at Elias. "You intend to walk into Blackwood House?" "No." He reached for one of the maps spread beside the fire. "We sneak in." "Of course." "Naturally." As though infiltrating heavily guarded estates happened every afternoon. He crouched near flickering light, shoulders tense, dark hair falling loosely across his forehead. For a moment, he looked less like the hunted captain, more like the man who once commanded soldiers. Focused, certain, dangerously capable. Her chest tightened unexpectedly, annoyingly. "You've done this before," she said quietly. His eyes lifted briefly. "War teaches ugly skills." Something about the answer felt sad. Older than 22 should feel. Thomas shifted awkwardly. "There's more." Elias went still. "What?" The younger man swallowed hard. "Blackwood announced an engagement." The air changed. Seraphina frowned. "What engagement?" Thomas hesitated. Then carefully. "Yours." Silence. Absolute silence. The fire cracked softly. "He told council members Lady Seraphina Ashbourne agreed to marry him before the attack." Seraphina stared. "No, no. He's lying. He's controlling the story," Thomas said quietly. "He told people your family requested military protection and disappeared during rebel violence." The room tilted slightly. Her father imprisoned, their home destroyed, and Edwin rewriting history before sunrise. Elias' jaw tightened visibly. Something dark crossed his face. "Dangerous. Protective. He's making himself look like your rescuer," he said quietly. Realization struck hard. "If my father dies," Seraphina whispered. Thomas looked down. You become his responsibility. Her stomach dropped. Her inheritance. Her family name. Her land. Everything. A trap. The marriage had never been protection. It had been acquisition. The horror must have shown across her face because suddenly Elias spoke. Low, steady, certain. He doesn't get to own your life. The words landed strangely deep. Too deep. The chapel fell quiet again. Firelight flickered between them, and for the first time since the manor burned, Serafina looked at Elias not as servant, not fugitive, not mystery, but something else entirely. Someone standing beside her when everyone else seemed to be taking pieces of her future. Someone who had every reason to run, and hadn't. As though sensing the shift, Elias looked away first. Try to sleep, he said quietly. We move at first light. But later, long after Thomas slept near the doorway, Serafina woke to voices. Low, urgent. Elias stood just outside the chapel ruins. Thomas beside him. She only caught fragments. If she finds out, she deserves the truth. After Blackwood House. Then, the sentence that stopped her cold. Thomas lowered his voice. You still haven't told her her father helped frame your brother.